Hey everyone, Tyler here, Taylormade Golf. This video is going to be on how to hit hybrids. Okay, so we're going to be hitting hybrids today. Let's see if I can get that camera a little bit better. Yeah, that looks a little bit more square. All right, cool. So how to hit hybrids. As always, if the notification pops up, make sure you hit yes. You want to get notified when I do these videos. If you like the content I'm putting out, like and share this video. And if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. I will answer them at the end of the video. So, how to hit hybrids. Let's dig right in. So I have a hybrid here. Here is my hybrid. It's an oldie but a goodie. It is a Taylormade SLDR. I think we're getting that on the camera, right? Getting on the camera? Yes, right there. So SLDR. You can see it, right? Rocking. So it is a 3 hybrid. It has 19 degrees aloft. It is set at 19 degrees aloft. So if I show you here on the camera, you can see standard setting. And on the toe, there's that. There it is. 19 degrees. So this is a 19 degree hybrid. It has a Matrix Black Tie HB3 95X shaft. So yeah, it's a stout shaft. Nice heavy shaft, right? You know, I've talked about this in other videos. I like my golf shafts to be heavier than what the norm is right now on kind of the trend. Driver shaft is like mid-70s, 3-wood shafts mid-80s, this is mid-90s, and you know, all my irons are in the 125 to 130 gram range. So, yeah, again, I like stuff to be a little bit heavier. The heavier shafts actually help me get the golf ball up in the air a little bit better. So hybrids, right? You need to, when you're getting a hybrid, you have to decide, hey, what's this club replacing? Is it replacing a 5-wood? Is it replacing a driving iron? Is it replacing a long iron? What is the point of the club? You know, if it's replacing a long iron, are you looking for just a straight up number that you're trying to hit? Or are you trying to get a lot more height out of the shot? You want the shot to come down a lot softer. If it's a driving iron, do you want it to be all carry? Do you want it to be a nice mix of carry and roll? Or do you want it to be a nice mix of you know, low, boring flight that lands and rolls out a lot more like a driving iron sort of thing? If it's replacing a 5-wood, you know, how far did your old 5-wood go? Are you hitting this club out of the rough? Are you hitting off the tee a lot? Is it mostly just going to be out of the fairway into par 5s or laying up on par 5s, that sort of thing? So those kind of questions are things you need to ask yourself before you move forward with, say, a hybrid purchase or transitioning into more a group of hybrids. Someone like me, this is a 19 degree hybrid. I'm looking for something that bridges the gap between my longest iron, which is a 4-iron, and my 3-wood. I want something that's going to carry about 20-ish, 25 yards less than the 3-wood, but still carry about 15-ish yards, 20 yards more than the 4-iron. Right? So I want something that's a gap in there. I wanted to go a little bit higher, or I should say, I wanted to go higher than the 4-iron will. I wanted to land softer than the 4-iron will, but I still hit this club off the tee, so I still want a little bit of roll. And then when I'm hitting this club into, say, par 5s, I'm okay with the ball releasing a little bit. I don't need it to just land and drop. So I don't necessarily want to hit a sky-high 3-wood. And that would be a really, really hard club to fit into, because the higher you want to hit it, the less spin you want to have, so it lands nice and soft. This club is still going to spin right around 35-ish, 100 RPMs. So it's kind of what a driver used to be like in the early 2010s, 8 to 10 years ago, where they were still super spinning. And so anyways, that's what I pick out for a hybrid. Again, I wanted to fill a gap in yardage. I wanted to go higher than the 4-iron, and I wanted to land but still release a little bit. So that's what I'm going for here. So let's go about talking about how to set up with a hybrid. A lot of people, and I got into this bad habit as well, a lot of people like setting up with the hybrid. They like having it like right where the driver's at or right where the 3-wood's at. You know, bang, right up here at this left heel. And I'm not about that. You know, I want that hybrid to be about 2 inches back of that left heel. Okay? So right around in this general area. Okay, because the 3-wood's going to be right here, just in front of it, and the hybrid's going to be about 1 inch back of the 3-wood, 1/2 inch to 1 inch back of the 3-wood, right? So that's where I carry, or that's where I put my ball position for my 3 hybrid. If you have, like, say, a 5 hybrid, right, that's going to be even more back in your stance, right? So your 5 hybrid, say it replaces your 5 iron, is going to be about 2 inches forward of center, right? So about right in here. So there's the 3 hybrid, there's the 5 hybrid, right? So, just depending on what club you have, that's going to determine your ball position. I see a lot of people trying to play these clubs too far forward because they want to help them up into the air. These clubs get higher in the air on their own, okay? They're going to do what they do. You really don't want to mess with them too much. You don't want to try and make them do more than what they're supposed to do, more than what they're designed to do. So let's hit a few, and I'll kind of go over what's going through my head when I hit these clubs and then how that can relate to you a little bit better. Again, focusing hard on the fundamentals. Am I lined up correctly? Is my ball position correct? Those 2 things for me are most critical for my success with a hybrid. I find that most of my bad shots with this club come from poor alignment and poor ball position. Because the ball position is bad and the alignment's bad, it causes me to get into bad positions and have to save the shot, down around impact. And that's no good. So, fundamentals are really, really important. So we set up the ball. The ball position looks good, alignment looks good. And then as I come into impact, for me, I'm focused on kind of slapping that ball with my right hand here. I'm kind of just slapping it. I don't want these hands to whip over, and I'm definitely not holding onto the club. I just want to kind of slap it and then release naturally. And that's going to give me the ball flight that I'm going for here. So a little block there. Little block, no big deal, right? And so you look at that and you say, hey, what happened? All right, what happened with that one, Tyler? So there's a block. It went 235 yards in the air and had, again, 3570 on the spin, so right around that 3,500 RPM mark. It was a push fade. So if I'm looking at it on my numbers, it says that my club face was just open. Path was pretty solid, okay? So it just says club face was slightly open. No big deal, right? No big deal. A simple change, and we've got this. We set up again. Let's execute the shot. Nice little draw, just like we like, right? Let's grab the golf ball. I'm using the same ball. I'm doing some more ball testing in here. So I just want to... Yeah, so that one went 249 yards. Again, the club face was actually a hair closed. That's what caused it to turn over more. Okay, I can bring that back. 1 second. So see the more bold line on the camera. Let me look through the screen. Can you see that a little bit? Kind of. You can kind of see that on the screen. So the next difference between this one and this one is actually just club face at impact. Everything else was pretty much the same. Okay? So just club face at impact is what causes that golf ball one to kind of start right and leak a little bit, and one to kind of start pretty square and turn over a few yards. Okay? So that's all that is. We just got to do a better job of matching up club face at impact, right? And that's okay, okay? So that's again, we're going to have a little bit of discrepancy with your hybrids, right? The longer your club is, the greater your dispersion tends to be, right? So the longer you hit it, a slight variation at impact can cause more dispersion. So we're going to hit one more. See if we can nail this one. There we go. Almost 3,400 RPMs of spin, 246 yards of carry, a straight ball flight, We matched up the path here. I'm going to bring the camera over here to the TV screen so you can see it a whole lot better. So if you see up here on the TV screen, you'll see, up here on the screen, you'll see club path, base, and target right there. And you see how well they are matched up. That's what we're going for here. So the rest of those numbers look pretty solid, right? All the spin rates look good. Club head speeds are good. Right around 100 miles an hour is what we're going for here. Right around 100 miles an hour is what we're going for here with the hybrid, right? So, again, that's kind of what you're going for here, all right? So, next thing up is, I hear this question a lot is, do I take a divot? All right? Do I sweep it off the ground or do I take a divot? And the answer is, it depends. It depends on the lie. It depends on the type of grass you have, and it depends on your swing. If you are a more sweeper of the golf ball, then continue sweeping the golf ball. Don't try and change things up with the one club, right? If you take divots with everything, just be prepared to take a divot with this club, right? And make sure that when you get fit for clubs, you try out clubs, you get clubs that are capable of, that perform well when you take a divot, okay? I'm going to take a slight divot with these clubs when I hit them, okay? I am going to be more of a sweeper. As you saw with my attack angle, it's really pretty close to neutral. It's saying my average is a plus 0.7. I'm working on getting that a little bit steeper. That'll help get the ball fly up a little bit higher. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. But yeah, so I'll take a slight divot, not a big one. Mostly just kind of take off the top of the grass. Okay, bring up a little bit of dirt. Probably usually don't even need to fill anything in. That's how shallow my divots are. But again, you make sure that whatever you normally do is what you keep doing. Okay, if you're a big divot taker, probably want to keep taking divots, right? So, but make sure you're getting a hybrid that fits around taking divots. If you have this big blocky thing that's like a 3-wood, it's going to be a whole lot harder to take a divot versus something that's nice and thin and narrow that's designed, to dig through the ground. So it's set up one more time. And again, I just had to make sure I corrected myself there. My ball position wanted to creep up. So you want to be careful that you don't get that ball position too far forward or too far back as well. .500 RPMs of spin, 100 feet in the air, going to carry 238 yards. That's, again, path was a little bit more into out. It could have just been a simple alignment issue, okay? That's the difference between that one and the previous one is literally 1 degree of swing path. Everything else was virtually the same. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at everything. Everything was virtually the same. That's 1 degree. So 1 degree of swing path is 5.5-ish yards. 5.5-ish yards of dispersion, right? 1 degree of swing path is 5.5 yards with this club at 240-ish yards. So that just goes to show you how fine a line it is. I mean, 1 degree, you look at it from, far or even on camera, 1 degree is not much. And that's how fine the line is, okay? So don't get mad at yourself when you hit some shots offline. Just realize, hey, golf's really hard. And sometimes when you're hitting these longer clubs, it's hard to be so accurate with them. But just take into account, hey, a little bit of a club path movement can have a pretty big change on where the golf ball goes. And so that's about all I got for you. Let's check to see if there's any questions that have come through. All right, no questions today. No questions today. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate y'all being here. If you have any questions later on, go ahead and ask them. I'll make sure I answer them as I see them come in on the videos. Again, if you like the content, please like and share it. And that's all I got for you. So thanks for tuning in. We got more stuff coming down the pipe. And just in case you were wondering where all our stuff comes in from. So I've asked people in the past what they wanted to learn about. This sheet is what people wanted to learn about. And so all these videos I'm doing is off this sheet. So we've touched on a whole bunch of stuff. We are almost out of things to talk about from this sheet. However, I've got more stuff. I've got more stuff. I've got more stuff. So, if you haven't heard something I've taught before, or you didn't like how I explained it, go ahead and ask, and I'll make sure that I get to that video and I'll get it out for you guys. All right, so thanks for tuning in, and I will let you all go.